stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. On first down, it's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And his first pass is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
20.
To throw is Newton. Fights loose. And a pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 38. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Miller. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Tiger.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Reset. Tiger. Two jet.
first down, it's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw on third down, Watson being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dontari Poe in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. After the interception, here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. 2nd and 10. Newton again. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop in 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
20. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
On 3rd down, Newton. Got his target, Samuel. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. Newton on 1st down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, hey. Do something.
From the gun, here's Newton. Flushed out right. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Do something. Hey, hey.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Newton. He's going to rifle one into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd.
And Watson's going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And the Panthers coming out now. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half, because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Back to the air on second down. Newton eluding the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Space to run past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Throwing again is Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Again, Newton. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
To throw on third down. Newton flush to his right. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They're looking at a first and goal from about the 9. Newton throwing again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Now a play fake here on first down. The hookup on the right side to Hopkins. A good pickup there at 22. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Watson on first down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Richmond, come back, come back. Hey, breathe the line. Two jets.
Here's Watson on 3rd down. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Richmond.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And they'll get him down right about the 20. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. Going for it, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 33. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
That's fielded in the end zone. Carolina getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On third down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This will be fielded at the 17. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Watson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Shaq Thompson in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, it's Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Come back.
Watson now to throw. And he's got Miller. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play action from Miller. Now Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Watson looks to throw again. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll go with Foreman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now it's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Akins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
20.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
After the interception, here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Watson, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Here's Watson. Forced out, and the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dontari Poe in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 2nd and 10, Newton eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton flush to his right. And, my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
That'll go down as a loss of 8.
Richmond.
To throw is Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Richmond. Tiger.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Newton flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Caught left side by Funchess. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Here's Newton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. He'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Gun. 20.
Out of the gun, Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They'll run forward Montgomery. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Foreman. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And Watson's going to throw it here. Escaping the pressure right. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Watson hands this to Foreman, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So that'll move them up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, they'll definitely take them.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, You just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. 23 yards on the play. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing is Newton. Can't find it. He lost the football. It's out. And this will be recovered by the offense, but it will be of little importance now as time has expired here in this first half.